Have you ever walked into work and thought, is this a job or am I starring in a reality show?
Because last year, we were not employees. We were unpaid cast members.
Welcome back to the chaos, but make it intentional. I'm Todd Erickson.
And I am Carrie Norris.
Norris. And this is hashtag unfiltered because someone had to say it.
And clearly, it's us.
Some of you may remember us from our last podcast, and if you do, you know we've been through things.
And if you're new here, buckle up because this version of us is evolved. A little wiser, a little less tolerant, and significantly more unfiltered. That part.
Our podcast isn't about dragging people or exposing names.
It's about patterns, behavior, red flags, and all the stuff people whisper about but never say out loud.
Basically, all the stuff that's within a group chat that doesn't get said.
If they were to ever get leaked, I said what I said, okay?
All right, so let's get into it. We are going to basically start out with the before we knew phase. So obviously, last year was a little rough.
Yeah. I think mentally it was rough for me. So
I think mentally for everybody it was rough. I mean, just in general with the different personalities, the way that you saw people change.
Yeah.
It is true whenever they say that most people wear two faces. You just don't know which one you're getting.
Yep.
And I think that was a big one is for the before I knew I was going into a workplace. I was there for about 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously stayed as long as I could. And I think I was warned multiple times. I was warned, are you sure you want to do this? Don't you know this? Don't you know that about that person?
Yeah.
The thing is, I always thought to myself, like, you've got to let me make that choice for myself. I have to be able to know, does that work for me? Because what works for you may not work for me, vice versa. And so I know for myself, I went into it kind of with an open mind thinking, okay, well, that was your experience. Let me see what my experience is. And boy, if I did not get a wake-up call.
Oh, yeah. Got slapped in the face, that's for sure.
What about yours?
I think for me, same. I had hesitation, but my career mentor was very adamant that things had changed. And I said, well, let me see for myself. And I walked in and I loved it. I am not going to lie. Everything about it. And then everything took a turn for the worst.
I do have to say, and let's put that out there because especially if we have any listeners that are in here that may have been experiencing some of the same situations, I don't think it started off bad.
No,
I think
absolutely not.
Everything was very calm, cool, collect for the most part.
Absolutely.
I did my part, they did theirs. And I think just gradually over time, that's when things start to unfold. You start to see new doors open up. You start to see new personalities come out. And I don't know if that's because they get comfortable with you or if that's because you become friends with more of your colleagues and your peers and things like that. But all in all, I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. Maybe one of our listeners can fill me in. What is it that changes a person like that? Do you know?
I don't. I wish I did. I wish we had answers for things like that. But unfortunately, I can't give you an answer.
But the craziest thing I will say, I love the relationships that came out of working there.
Yes.
Like this one.
Oh, yes.
I
remember listening to Todd at the lunch table and I was like, oh, who is that guy? And then I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I thought. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually love you.
I will have to say, I think my opinion was very much the same. Not that I was trying to judge. I think it was just one of those that you were she was very cutesy, I guess I just got the whole persona that I was trying not to judge, but I feel like in a sense I kind of was. I was like, okay, she must be one of those mean girls. She's super, super pretty. She's super attractive. She's got everything going for her. She walks down the hall like, her shit don't stink. And all in all, I think it was, we were planning a Christmas party.
Yep.
And I fell in love with you.
Yep.
We had such an amazing time. And I think from that point forward, we have been friends since.
Yep.
And from there, my friends have become your friends have
Yep.
become my friends. And now we have a whole entire circle. And
Yep.
I'm absolutely in love with it.
Yep.
So,
I agree. I agree. I do really love the relationships that I built during that period of my life, but it did take a mental toll on me. I was going home, I was depressed, and I think for me that was the reason I felt so much hurt. It was like what I allowed myself to get to at that point. So
I agree. I feel like I kind of let my walls down. And so by doing that, I tried not to think about it so much with emotion, but I feel like it's kind of hard not to when you don't think you're going anywhere.
Yep.
You don't think you're leaving.
Yep.
You think that everything is fine, and so you wear your emotions on your sleeve, or at least I do. I don't know if everybody does.
Yeah.
And so I know, there were some specific individuals that was at our last job, and I found myself being a little bit more vulnerable in a sense because I thought we were building a better bond, a better relationship, and it's just it's hard for me to come out and say it without obviously saying specifics.
yeah,
And we're trying not to do that.
which we're not going to do.
Correct. But I want to make sure that we're at least putting it out there because I know for a fact that we have listeners. There are other people out there that have to have went through the same situation or are going through the same situation and don't know how to make that next step or what should they do. And I want to hear from you, listeners. I want you to comment anonymously, DM us, let us know your story. Let us know what you guys are going through or something you've went through.
I feel like a lot of people turn to me for advice. So even if it's something that you don't want to talk about on the podcast, it's something that maybe we can help you guys through just via messaging.
I think that's why I love this podcast because I feel like it's like therapy for me.
Yeah.
It's almost
That's
like
how
a confessional.
I feel. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's how
like
I feel. Yep. So we're going to hopefully be able to help you guys navigate through some of your work experiences, or if you're already experiencing it, how to move forward, what we can do for you. And this is just based off of our experience. So.
Oh, I mean, I could talk so much about some of the other jobs that I've had.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Let's be honest. The military. If you are a military wife or you are in the military, you clearly know what I'm talking about. Because that is a workplace where you are basically broken down and built back up. They tell you to shut up and color. You do whatever it is that they tell you to do. And I think there's a lot of biting your tongue that you have to do when you're in the military, and you just have to grind and do and do and do. But surprisingly, I think being out of the military since 2014, I miss it. I'm not going to lie. I feel like the structure, the discipline, the time management, you're always right there.
Yep.
And now I feel like you have the option to sleep in where there you did not.
Yeah.
But I'm going down a rabbit hole here.
I'm like, I've never been. The only profession I've ever had was a real estate assistant. So all of them were exactly the same except for one.
But
Shout out to Rebecca Powell for not talking crap about me after I left. Thank you. That's the only name drop I'm going to name. Everybody else.
All right. So before we go any further on that one, I definitely think that we should jump to red flags.
Okay.
So one of the biggest things I think is super important is to talk about what red flags did you start to notice throughout your duration of being at your last occupation that kind of started to turn you into that direction of, should I really be here?
Things being said, but not being executed. I have a problem with people changing the stories, the absence of someone in a leadership role, just because I put so much into my job and I dedicate my life Monday through Friday to whoever my boss is. And I think for me, I don't even know.
I think the most dangerous person in the workplace is the one that smiles at you in meetings and then rewrites the narrative when you're not in the room.
Absolutely.
And I think with you talking about what you just said a minute ago, I think that kind of hits the nail on the head of the sense that there are so many of those that will sit here and feed you.
Yep.
Feed you. And then they turn around and do nothing but talk shit about you behind your back.
Yeah.
So you leave that room feeling confident. You feel good about yourself. You feel like you did something good.
Yep.
And then you're hearing from the peers within your workplace that you didn't hear this from me.
Because everybody talks. I don't care who you are. If you say, don't tell this person, they're going to tell someone. I don't know if you guys know that.
I am not I am not truly a snitch. I feel like you can get that nickname, but I do believe, like, if it's not somebody with you in your inner circle and they're like, you didn't hear this from me, and I'm like, Carrie, come here, I've got something to tell you. I'm sorry, listeners. I am not a snitch, but I just feel like everyone has that person. You have those people, not just person, but people. And I think that's why we always say it's the group chat. It's always the people that talk within the group chat. And it is true. I think
we said what we said. Okay.
Girl, it could be like the Epstein files of the shit that's not redacted. It would just get released.
Low key, I feel like that's what we left. Just the different version.
Yeah.
No, but I do. I struggle with people saying things and then not pulling through on their weight, or saying requirements.
Hit my mic.
That are expected from others, but not fulfilled on the person giving it. Especially in real estate, right? So real estate, you guys have to. Leads are just not dropped into your lap. You have to prospect. You have to be in the office. You are not getting paid every day unless you are in there working, and then it pays off eventually when you put somebody under contract or list a house, right?
Right.
So for me, just the absence, like the projection of like, this is what I want from you and this is going to make you successful. But then the back end of the leadership is just not there, which was a thing that a lot of people said was like, how can you hold me accountable if you're not even holding yourself accountable?
That would be one of
That's
my
not
top.
fair.
Yeah, that would be one of my top red flags is the actions. It's the actions, because one of my biggest pet peeves is I am fine with learning and you building up that momentum to push people and motivate them to want to do more. But I think it's the do better conversation, and then you don't do that for yourself.
Yep.
I guess it's kind of like me when I give advice, but I hate taking my own advice. But I feel like, how can you sit there and constantly put people down and say, do better, and then turn around and say, oh my God, you guys did amazing whenever there's a camera on. Don't do that. I don't care who you are. Don't do that. If you're going to say it, mean it. It burns my buttons. Yep. That's how I personally feel. Yep. So actions is a big red flag for me. And then when you start to notice the amp in the voice, the vocal, the vulgarness, some of the words and stuff that get said, I feel like
it's like demanding professionalism, but you've never been professional at all.
Well, let's talk about insults, but then you turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
Do you laugh or do you get offended?
We love a good backhanded comment. Don't get me started on those.
But see, I feel like I know listeners that also happens within your occupation. So
it's not acceptable, by the way.
Absolutely
like, don't
not.
allow people to be mean to you and then play it off as a joke.
We all have value.
And if you're not valued at one place, someone else will value you.
That is true. That's what happened with you.
Absolutely. Another red flag for me would be favoritism in a workplace. Really, really,
I love that
hard.
You brought that up.
Once again, preaching professionalism and how a business is ran, but then playing favoritism and it only suiting certain people is just another.
And this is not like an employee of the month situation. This is
I would have been employee of the month.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's I'm going to pick you out of everybody else, and this is what I'm going to give you. Or how about another red flag? Fraternization. I get it. A lot of, and you know, and let me actually put this down, because I feel like this could create a little bit of a debate in a sense, is I'm not trying to say that every relationship that's in the workplace is considered fraternization. I do believe that a lot of people find their soulmate and the person they want to be with from work. You're around those people 24/7. I do believe that your job is 50% also your home life, because it's where you spend 50% of your time. So I'm not saying that in an instance, but I do also feel like if you know for a fact that you're already in a relationship and you fraternize. I feel like if you fraternize with another individual that is super close to you in the workplace, knowing that that spouse is very close, that is a problem for me.
I think the struggle with that, to be honest with you, I don't care about the fraternization. I care about the privileges that come with the relationship and the authority that comes with that relationship because of the fraternization. I don't care about the relationship itself as long as you can keep it professional when you come through those office doors.
No, I do agree with that.
At the end of the day, what you do outside this office is on you.
I do
but
agree
when
with
you
that.
come in here, your role is this and your role is that, and that is how it's going to stay.
I do remember saying at the last place that we were at that I don't care what you do in your personal life, but if it affects the work environment, that is a problem for me. And I think that's exactly what happened. I don't think that the obviously turning point, you can obviously tell that there was a little bit of this in play upon our exit.
Yep.
But I do feel like that was what happened. It started to affect the workplace. It started to create a lot of unnecessary drama, a lot of behind the door talking, a lot more gossip. He said, she said stuff that was going on. And ultimately, I feel like if you lead a company, you have a lot of people that are looking up to you. They're looking up to you for guidance, for answers. And if you are the one that is breaking down all of these things and showing that your employees or colleagues or peers are, I forgot where I'm like trying to go with this. It's like you're the one setting the example.
Yep.
And I feel like what kind of example are you setting if you were the one that is breaking all the things you put in place?
Yeah.
What is that?
A red flag.
Like, how do you expect your people to stay when they don't know what they're getting?
Yeah.
Like, what am I getting? What am I getting out of this?
I think that's actually what a lot of them said. Top producing agents left because they were like, what are you doing for me? I know what I'm doing for you, but what are you doing for me?
So I personally cannot talk about that specific job title, but I can talk about my experience. So putting that out there for the listeners, the ones that do know me know what I'm talking about. And for those that don't, I currently work a secondary occupation from this podcast in interior design. And so due to my year of not being allowed to talk about it, that's why we're not going to. So I am allowed to talk about my experience and how I feel. This is my podcast and I'll say whatever I want to on it. So that is why we're called #Unfiltered. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I think we should lead directly into our next segment.
Okay.
What did it cost us?
Ooh.
First off, it cost me a ton of money. Let's put it right there. A ton of money to exit. Oh my God, I keep hitting this mic. I'm not used to it yet. It's our first one, you guys. But for me, I think it cost me a lot of money.
It did.
Anxiety.
Yep.
The end of last year was extremely depressing, and depression is real.
Yeah.
I know that we laugh and joke about it, or you hear somebody is depressed and we're just like, oh, boo-hoo, get over it. I do personally feel that depression is a mental issue. There's a lot of people, and for some it's more extreme than others.
Yeah.
But it affects everybody differently, and it definitely hit me. I was somewhat of a little bit in a spiral at the end of summertime going into the holidays, and that's never fun. Holidays are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a big pull on my mental health as well.
It took a toll on my mental health. There were, my experience, there would be days that I would go home, actually almost every single day. I would neglect my family. Because I was so mentally exhausted by the time I had went home, because during the day I was always on edge because I wasn't sure what the moods were going to be in the office, who was going to be upset, who was going to come in screaming, I was like always on edge. And then that would drain me because I was there for 8 hours a day, and I would go home and I would get in bed and I would neglect my husband. I would neglect my kids. I love cooking. I wouldn't cook. Christian actually told me not too long ago, after I had removed myself from that environment, and he was like, hey, I'd really like it if you start cooking dinner again. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Because I didn't realize it, because at the end of the day, I was so drained and depressed that I didn't understand what I was causing around me. I was putting more effort into that than I was what things that actually mattered in my life. And one day I just said, I don't have to live like this. I think for me, I I compromised my morals and values for a paycheck. And that hurts because I've always said, like, money does not define me. And I allowed money to define me for the last 6 months of my life before transferring into the job I got. I winded up quitting without having a job lined up because I was like, I would rather not work and figure it out than I'll go work at a grocery store. I'll go work at fast food before I continue to live like this.
And I think that's a big thing too, like for I'm sure some of our listeners, but even those that don't even know yet, that may listen to this episode further on in the coming months. But I feel like that's a big thing, is the people feeling stuck or feeling like because they need the job so badly and the money so badly, they don't leave. They just put up with it.
Do you want to know one of my downfalls? I'm so loyal to these jobs. The thought of leaving and putting my boss in a position of not having anyone actually hurt me the most. So whenever I left, I laid everything out Barney style so he would be able to walk in and know exactly where everything was. And it still killed me to know that, like, my loyalty is, like, for my job, obviously, is to do everything in my power for that person. So the moment that I have to pull away,
well, because you love that job.
Is my loyalty compromised at that point?
And you know,
does that make me a bad person because I speak about integrity and loyalty and values, and then I do the complete opposite? Does that make me a bad person? That's what I thought about. So, like, I preach these things about myself and how great they are, and then I do the complete opposite.
Yeah, I think everybody's experience is different. I know from mine, I do think I got a little aggressive towards the end, not intentionally. I didn't know what to expect out of it. I just knew that we obviously were going to have a meeting. Mm-hmm. There were certain things that I was hoping to hear. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting everything to go my way. I knew that wasn't going to happen because I knew who I was dealing with. Yeah. But I just didn't expect the tables to turn so much that it was almost kind of like we were written off. Yep. And I will put it here. If you know, you know, to leave a workplace by being told to shut up and that you're irrelevant makes me feel like, what was the point of even being here to begin with? Yeah. And whether that was meant as a joke, I don't know, but I know that it hit me in a way that I was like, okay, I'm done. That's it. Yep. There's nothing left for me here anymore. And so it was time for me to go. Because
at that point you weren't valuable. Like, I think that is also just a little snippet to just control your mouth when you get angry, because those words can't come back. So, which sucks, because that's how you'll always remember that situation, is that you were irrelevant.
I do want to ask you a question. So I wanted to ask you, should you confront or exit quietly?
Oh,
and that goes for you too, listeners. Okay. Comment if you're interested in this question.
Okay. I have a different view on this. Okay. I exited quietly because I already knew if I had confronted, it wouldn't be received. It would be more to listen, to respond, not listen to understand, not listen to help grow the company, not listen to, it would have been like, okay, well, because I've watched it play out. You know, I've watched these. I'm more of a, like, if I can give you constructive criticism and you take it to build on it, find growth. I'm all about some growth now, y'all. Then that's one thing. But I know a lot of people that tried to leave confronting and just got literally laughed in their face.
I did confront when I left, because and see, and that's where I think that's where we all different, is because I've seen a lot of people leave in the middle of the night, pack up a box and quietly leave. Yep. Just like if you were leaving a relationship. Yep. And for me, I'm the type of person that I want answers. I want answers before I leave. It may not be the answers I want to hear, but I do want answers. I want you to tell me.
Do you think it's going to get answers, or do you think he's just going to take it on or they are going to take it on a personal level, and then it turns into there's no growth in that sometimes. So you're getting answers that hold what?
I think it differentiates, because I feel like I like to say that I'm a rule follower, but I also like to say that I love gray area loopholes, because I like to, where there's a will, there's a way. Wow. And I feel like I am a rule follower. Like, I know that there are policies and procedures at different workplaces, and there are rules and guidelines that you're supposed to follow and manuals and things
Yeah.
like that. I mean, hell, there was a manual where at one of my old jobs, and they were telling people that you couldn't change your hair color because it wasn't authentically the same color you were supposed to be born with. And so I started making it a point to shave my head and put designs in my hair on purpose just to piss off my boss, because I was like, if you're going to come after them, try coming after me,
Yeah.
because I know the rules in this book.
Yeah.
With that being said, I like to hold people accountable. And so if you're going to get rid of me or certain things are going to go down, I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pinpoint those guidelines and those rules.
Yep.
But I think what happened is it just became a lot more defensive, on the sense that I was proving him wrong and he was falling.
Mm-hmm.
And so he felt like he had to alpha male me to try to get his point to chump mine. And if any of you guys have this going on in your occupation like us, don't back down. Stand your ground.
Absolutely.
Fight for it.
Absolutely.
Whether you leave or whether you stay, fight for what you want. That is exactly what I will say.
And also remember, if you are not valued, someone else will value you. I promise you. You just have to pull that plug.
I love that you said that. That's going to be a clip. Okay, I do have one more debate question for you.
Go.
So I want to ask, do you think workplace drama is inevitable? Oh, that's a long pause there.
Oh.
Are you thinking about it?
Yeah.
Did I stump you?
Yeah. I just want to make sure I answer correctly.
I don't
Like-
know if there is a correct answer for it. I do think it's inevitable. I feel like it's guaranteed.
Absolutely. Okay, wait.
Not saying
okay.
our scenario, but I do think workplace drama
It's
is going to
happen.
anywhere
At
you
the
go.
moment you put more than two people together. Sorry, I did not mean to kick the microphone. The moment you put more than two people in the room, right, or in an office or whatever, and everybody has different opinions and you have different personalities, and you got the ones that gossip a little more, who then put the birdies in everybody's ear, which, by the way, I was not the gossiper at my last job, okay? So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. Okay. But I do believe that it could be more controlled in a professional environment, meaning the rules are followed. Everybody has a job position. There is structure in the business.
But where does it start?
From the top.
From the top.
From the top.
It starts from the top. And that goes for any bosses out there, anybody who is listening
That is listening.
that owns a business, or you have a boss, you have people underneath you. It starts with you.
I also think that there is a difference between gossip and communicating on things. Like, if you can communicate on something that may seem like gossip, I always tell my children, I'm like, is it gossip if it's a fact? No, it is not gossip. But in those things, if you just find some growth in them, I don't really feel like it's gossip. Like, it's gossip if you're like, oh my God, did you know such and such got arrested? Blah, 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 right? It's not. It's like, oh my gosh, are they mentally okay? Are they like, what came from that for this to happen, kind of deal? That's where I'm at with it. It's not, I don't think it's inevitable. Inevitable.
Don't ask me to spell it.
Don't.
It's too early this morning.
I would be kicked out of the spelling bee if you told me to spell that.
I will say, though, and obviously we work together now,
Yeah.
so we have the same boss.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to give shout outs, y'all, it's going to be great shout outs.
Give a shout out to Mandy Mallory.
Mandy Mallory. But I will say that, to me, is what you want in a boss.
Oh, absolutely.
And if for those that don't know who Mandy Mallory is, first off, she's very, very quiet. She's very shy. She talks like this.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it, because I feel like it almost kind of reminds me of like David and Goliath. It's like this little person that just comes up in here, but then she's just like, rah.
Yeah. She holds structure, but she
follows
also
the rules. She is the biggest rule follower.
She is a rule follower for sure. But
sorry,
she also holds a lot of compassion for her agents.
Absolutely.
And she leads. She sets the tone. She is in here every day. Plus, she is here after weekends, after hours, before hours. I mean, it doesn't, like, that woman works her butt off, but she's setting the example for what she is going to require from you guys. Now, I will say it is on your plate to make yourself an agent. It's not on hers, but she will give you every tool in her toolbox to make you the best agent she can
I
be.
agree.
And you can go into her office at any time, and when you leave because you had a dumb question as a real estate agent that you should have learned in real estate
It's not
school,
being gossiped about when you leave the room.
it's not being gossiped
Unless
about
it's funny. Unless it's funny.
Sometimes I be laughing at y'all. Sometimes I'm like, but I tell that to their faces. I'm like, you guys shouldn't have a real estate license. Do I not? If you don't know that answer, then you shouldn't have a real estate license.
But and this is where we're just going to keep the circle going back around. It's still that same thing. If you don't find value where you are, go somewhere else where you know that you will find value.
Absolutely.
And for those that find it tough to leave, I think that's where I want to get into our next section, and that's the lessons that we've learned from it, because I think it has to be you. It has to be your choice. Yep. You have to do it when you're ready. Don't let our podcast be the one thing that pushes you out of your job.
So I will say there was a gap between them leaving and me leaving.
Them or me?
Them.
Them. Oh, I'm a them. Thanks.
Yeah, you're a them. And the reason why is because I have never been a follow the leader. I've always made my own decisions. I've always allowed what I used to think would be the universe, that now, because I'm saved, I use the Holy Spirit.
I love that too.
Yeah. So I said, I would tell them, it's not my time. Something's not sitting right inside of me. It's not my time. And then finally it was my time, and I had just had about enough, and the feelings I was feeling and going to work on edge, that I said, I ran it by my husband, and he said, I'll support you in whatever you want to do. And luckily I made the move and then got a job offer from
I think as a supportive friend, it was just more of, I wanted to see your best well-being. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I was very, very protective. Yep. And I wanted to make sure that nothing happened to you, because obviously when you leave, depending on if your circle is where you also work, I feel like we were leaving you there. And and I get that, you know, we were not in the same spot or occupation at the time. It's just one of those things where I didn't want anything bad to happen to you, because I know how we were treated on our way out the door, and I didn't want that to be you.
So
because you were the punching bag.
So I was.
You were the punching bag.
And I was stuck slam dang in the middle. And I think a lot of people couldn't understand that. For me, I got both sides. Like, I literally, it took a toll on me. It's gonna make me cry. It took a toll on me because I am normally a happy person, and I hated going to work. One of the people in the office would text me and be like, what is wrong with you? Like, I can tell that you're sad. Like, what can I do? Like, I hate that this has done this to you. And it's like, what was I supposed to do? Because I needed a paycheck, you know? Yeah. So eventually I just said, I'm not going to do it. I have a great partner who can help me financially, and was like, get out of there. And I said, okay. And I knew
I love this support.
Thing that I hate is leaving the people I left behind. Yeah. So I understand how you felt and why you were always encouraging me. Hey, go somewhere where you're valued.
Never poached, just encouraged.
Never on a pickleball court. You know, we would have like a 30-minute session before our
therapy session.
Before our pickleball thing started.
I think we still kind of do. We always start with a 30-minute therapy session.
Just like, hey, let's get it out. It stays on the pickleball court, and that's where it is.
So leading in from that, what lessons did you learn from that experience?
One, I will never compromise my values or morals ever again. At the end of the day, it is business, and you are there to do a job. But when the business is personal and the personal is brought into the business, I will never allow myself to compromise my morals and values again for a paycheck. I will literally go work at the cheapest paying job there is before I do that again. I will never do that. And then I think being more careful with who I'm vulnerable with in the workplace.
I was going to say, be a better judge of character, I think is one of my lessons to learn, because I was so easy to open up to everybody because I'm a fun guy. I like to laugh. I like to make jokes, and I like to have a good time, but also still work. And I think I just need to be a better judge of character.
Absolutely. Me too.
So
I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, regardless of what is said, and it bit me in the butt. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I want to put out there for our listeners, we actually wrote it down so I didn't forget it, but I wanted to ask our listeners, like, what is the wildest workplace drama that you have ever experienced? And would you go back and handle it differently? So we would absolutely love for you to anonymously DM us if you want to comment and put it out there because maybe somebody else is feeling the same way. Share your stories with us. Share with us the crazy drama or the gossip or the tea that you have, because this podcast is #unfiltered because someone had to say it. So say it out loud, because that's what we're going to do.
Oh, absolutely.
How do you feel?
I feel good. You want to know why I feel good?
Why?
I shouldn't feel like this. Because karma's finally coming back around, and it is.
That is another thing too. Don't lead with revenge, because we all know who will avenge. And we all know that for those that think that they're getting away with it, it will come back tenfold.
Yep.
And I feel like we're starting to see
Yep.
a little bit of that. I think some of that actually just happened this weekend, didn't it?
It did.
So I'm going to attach a hashtag if you know, you know. So you just have to stay tuned. But other than that, Carrie, how do you feel? This is our first episode.
I feel great. I love the conversation.
9 months. It's been 9 months since we podcasted together. And I'm excited to be back. So hopefully you guys are excited for us to be back. We're excited to be back for you. Every week we'll be coming back with a new episode talking about some other type of shit. So just stay tuned, because we don't even know what we're going to talk about yet.
Yeah, no.
If you have any ideas or creative things that you think you want to hear us talk about, send us a DM, comment.
I will say I will not speak on politics, and I will not speak on religion. Now, I will say I got saved. I got married. I'm a follower of Christ. I just want to make sure I put that out there, but I will not conversate with it as in like my beliefs and other religions' beliefs. Just I want to put that out there for everybody to know. So,
all right. Well, if you like what you heard today, make sure to follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, because this episode will be dropping
tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I guess technically today, right? Today. So we film Mondays and we drop them on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So every Tuesday, hopefully we will have a new episode for you guys. So follow us, subscribe, like if you like what you see, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.